boy ACO7, aka H Dynamo, aka, and I'm back, man. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, man. So every time I drop one of these videos, man, you get it right hot off the press. As you can see from the title above or the title below, depending on what device you're rocking on. Let's get into this topic right here. I feel a lot of people is not speaking on it. You know, people say they little say, and then they move on, or they come back to it and then they move on. But I don't think nobody elaborates on what's really going on with the original creator, the OG of the God of War franchise, David Jaffe, right? This is a long time coming, right? Um, I've been watching him for a while now. Um, First off, let me say this. I like the guy, you know. I think he's cool. Um, I don't know him personally at all. Um, but I've got the gist of who he kinda is. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I don't think anybody on YouTube's shows their whole hand on who they truly are, but I think I know enough to be able to say what I'm about to say about David Jaffe, right? So go ahead, get your snacks, get your Coca-Cola, go ahead, get your Faygo Pop, um, your Pringles, your Frito-Lays, whatever you're gonna get, your kosher dill pickles, whatever you're gonna get. Go ahead and get your snacks, man, because I'm about to go the fuck in, man. Oh man. Okay, look. David Jaffe, man. You know, there was a point in time where I had high respects for David Jaffe. First off, because he's a gamer, you know. He created God of War. Um, when he created God of War, when I played the first one, and I remember fighting that 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 hydro, that dragon with the three heads, that blew my mind, right? The graphics were way ahead of its time. The game looked good. It played great. It was a complete game. It David Jaffe creation of God of War let me know where gaming was going, and I was very excited. Loved the game he made. Wasn't a fan of Twisted Metal. Don't like those type of games, but it was still a cool game, nonetheless, right? So I like what he's done for the gaming industry. I'm not the type of person to discredit somebody if they actually put in the work and the time to influence the gaming industry, okay? So I want to get that out the way because I don't want nobody to think that I don't like the guy or anything like that. But I don't know him. You understand? Just like everybody else acts like they know who David Jaffe is, but they don't know who he is. The only perspective we can get is what he allows us to see and hear, right? So everything everything that I'm about to say is going on the merits of what I've heard him say out of his mouth, how he feels about things, the way he expresses himself, and whatnot, right? Okay, so look, man, I hate to do this because I feel like I'm shitting on the guy, right? I really feel like I'm shitting on the guy, and I feel like he deserves to be shitted on, but you know how people say, such and such, this and that, respectfully. No, this is disrespectfully. Okay, y'all already know how ACO said. You already know how I get down, right? So disrespectfully, David Jaffe has turned into shit. He has turned into complete utter shit. His opinion is shit. His theories is shit. I mean, the things he says that come out of his mouth is shit. Okay, he speaks 10% truth, then a 90% bullshit. Okay? Now you're probably saying, ACO7, why are you saying that about David Jaffe? He is a great guy. I don't doubt that he is. He might be one of the coolest people that you can get along with. But when it comes to this gaming shit, David Jaffe is a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. And he wonder why people always saying he's an Xbox. He acts like an Xbot. He talks like an Xbot. Okay? He is so bitter. Oh man, I already know he's gonna have a conniption of me saying he's bitter. He knows he's bitter, but he won't admit it. You know, his ego is at such a high level. It's so elevated. He's not gonna admit that he's bitter. David Jaffe is bitter and he knows it. He comes off bitter. And then he tries to explain it away. He tries to explain it away, right? Fuck the explain part. He tries to explain it away. Okay? What I mean by that? Let me give you an example. And this is just recent. He makes a video about God of War Ragnarok, right? And I don't care. I know a lot of you people out there care about his little clickbait titles, you know, what he calls quote unquote marketing. I don't care about that shit. I don't care if he clickbaits marketing, whatever he wants to call it. That doesn't matter to me. Y'all can have that. Y'all can argue and debate over if what he does is marketing or clickbait. I give a shit less. I like to go into the meat and potatoes of that shit. Y'all already know, man. When I start talking about the meat and potatoes, because I know everybody gonna use. I mean, people using the meat and potatoes fucking slogan anyway. But I'm gonna give it to you in the raw, right? You know this. There's no editing. There's no splicing. There's no special effects when I make these videos, man. It's always live and uncut. It's like uncut heroin, you know, like fine china. You feel me? I might go over your head. But look, check this out. He just recently made a video about Ragnarok, okay? And he titles it God of War tanks or plummeted or whatever he says, right? God of War Ragnarok fell off. So I watched the video, you know. I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna be judgmental. I'm gonna watch the video and see what he actually has to say. And as I'm watching the video and listening to him talk about Ragnarok, all I heard was bitter. Bitter, bitterness, bitter, 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 sour, bitter, right? It's like, dude, come on, man. Come on. Why can't you just appreciate what Ragnarok has done for Sony? Now, we know you were ruffling feathers while you was over there at SIE. We all know that, you know. You've admitted to that too. You know, you ruffled feathers there at Sony, you know. You say you retired or whatever. No, they fired your ass. You know that shit. They fired your ass because they couldn't deal with you anymore. You were out of control. You were reckless. You know, like you were like a grenade. You know, you were like a hand grenade. You just explode. You know what I mean? You had friends over there at SIE. You know, and I'm pretty sure you still have good friends over there at SIE. No doubt about that. But there's a lot of people that you rubbed the wrong way over there, and you know that. Pause. I mean, fuck it, not pause, because I'm pretty sure you purposely rubbed those guys over there the wrong way, and I don't think they appreciate it. And you burnt bridges, so they fired your ass, David Jaffe. They fired your ass. And I know you're gonna be like, oh, that's not what happened. No, you know that's what happened, because you came out and was like, oh, well, the reason why I'm not with Sony anymore is because I wanted to spend more time with my family. Whenever I hear these execs or these developers or these people in these high positions say that, I already know they asses got fired. And what happened is Sony he brought David Jaffe into the room, roasted his ass, and then told him to clean out his fucking desk and get the fuck out of the building. And he left storming out, yelling and cussing people out. You know, the usual David Jaffe dramatization shit, right? Now, instead of him appreciating what God of War Ragnarok has done for Sony, and I'm not talking about him liking the game. I already know, he's already admitted he likes the game, he loves the game. But then he doubles down, right? He doubles down and says it's still glorified DLC. A game that's damn near 70 plus hours is glorified DLC to him. Until came the beginning with the Thor fight and the Freya and all of that stuff. That's cool, that's all right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he acted like he could have did better. Now, compared to the God of Wars that he made back in the day, he didn't have no openings like that. He didn't have no openings like that. The only time that the opening was good was God of War 3. And that's because his buddy, the one that did Ragnarok, that made it a great game, that those set pieces in God of War 3 was from his buddy. I can't remember his name, so uh, uh, don't quote me on that because I don't want to call out his name because I don't remember the guy's name. But it was David Jaffe's buddy that helped him make God of War 1, 2, and 3. Okay? It's the same guy that made Ragnarok. It's the reason why Ragnarok is so great because his buddy made it. And he's jealous. David Jaffe is jealous because his buddy made Ragnarok and he didn't have no parts in it, and the game became Ragnarok is better than all three of his games combined. God of War 1, 2, and 3, Chains of Olympus, the one that was on PSP and all of that. I don't know who did those. He may not have did those, but if you put 1, 2, and 3 together, the ones that David Jaffe had a hand in creating, his buddy surpassed him with one game, which was Ragnarok. And David Jaffe is so bitter about it. So he trashes Ragnarok, Of course, he always has to have this overlay and this little how can I say it? Like, he likes to shield himself, you know what I mean? By saying, look, Ragnarok is a great game. I really love the game, but guess what? It's trash. It's glorified DLC. It's 70 plus hours worth of glorified DLC. See, this is the bullshit. He's the one that started this whole DLC shit. And he knew who he was catering to. He knew when he said glorified DLC, he knew he was going to attract a whole bunch of those dumb X-bots. Them stupid bots. Because they need something because they don't have games to play. They don't even enjoy Game Pass or any of the games that come to Game Pass. So they needed some kind of ammo. So when he said that Ragnarok was gonna just be glorified DLC, the bots took hold of it and was like, yeah, David Jaffe, you're our best friend. We love you, David Jaffe. You're right. It's glorified DLC. And I couldn't go into anybody's podcast without hearing somebody regurgitate the bullshit that he made up. He knew Ragnarok wasn't going to be no glorified DLC. And then when the game came out, he doubled down in the newest video he made about Ragnarok. He doubled down and still said, it's DLC to me. Like, you could tell. Go back and watch that video. And when he says it's still DLC to him, watch how he shrugs his shoulders. Watch the expression on his face. That's called the bitter expression. Okay? That's bitterness. He's bitter. He's mad because his homeboy made a better God of War than he could ever make. Instead of him praising his buddy over there for creating Ragnarok, he would rather shit on his friend. He probably not even friends with the guy, but at the time, they were friends making God of War. You know what I mean? So that's why I call him, that's his buddy, his pal, his ace, And now he shits all over him, He shits all talking about he created DLC for the God of War 2018. This is sad, man. Because I always had respect for David Jaffe because of what he contributed to the gaming industry. Like I said, I can't take that away from that man. He earned it. Every dollar that he's made, he's sitting back fat on the hog, right? Probably got about 6 bank accounts and shit, you know what I mean? Full of millions of fucking bucks. And he deserves it because he helped build the fucking Sony portfolio when it comes to great AAA exclusive bangers. He contributed to that portfolio, Kudos to him for that. But the fact that now he's a YouTuber and all he does is shit on Sony, and shit on any AAA game that Sony has. I mean, he even shitted on Forbidden West. Now, when it comes to Microsoft Super Duper 4K, the shit that never fucking manifested itself at all. Y'all remember that, right? At the whole E3 or at the Microsoft conference and shit. Remember, they were supposed to have Super Duper 4K, right, for Minecraft, right? It never came out, but David Jaffe is cheering that shit. Oh, this is great. Oh, the Super Duper 4K for Minecraft is great. Microsoft is just excelling and succeeding and bringing great games to the platform. And we all know, even for the fucking award show, for the nominees for the award show, there's not one fucking Xbox game that got nominated for Game of the Year because they don't have any games. They released the Series X and the S with no games, just like they did the One X, the Scorpio edition. Y'all remember the one that Phil Spencer discontinued, right? But David Jaffe, he's all in his videos and shit, dancing, all on the record and shit. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? He cannot just be happy. David Jaffe cannot find happiness, right? He needs, I don't know what he needs to do. Maybe he needs to get back into gaming and build up a passion to create another great game. Because he did that whole, I think he did a game after, you know, he left Sony. He tried to do like this Drawn to Life game or something. I remember the game. I played it. I think it was like a demo or something or whatever I played to it. It was total trash. It was fucking total trash. How are you going to go to God of War and then create a trashy ass pencil stencil looking ass fucking weirdo ass game? Nobody wanted that shit. Nobody cared about that shit. You didn't even enjoy that fucking game. You didn't even enjoy that game. And what you were trying to do is make a shitty game and you in hopes of Sony would pick up that bullshit, that little fucking pencil stencil ass game that you created. You was hoping Sony picked it up and put it in their portfolio so they can have a bad game, so they can have a bad reputation. Every chance David Jaffe gets, he shits on Sony. But he big ups Xbox when Xbox ain't doing nothing but just buying shit. Saying that they want to compete, but they just buying shit. See, the thing is, while he's out here cheering and rooting for Microsoft not doing nothing, Sony steady dropping exclusive bangers. Year after year after year. Say what you want about Sony. I don't care if you don't like any of the games that Sony has been releasing since the new consoles came out in 2020 of November, right? I don't care if you don't like any of those games. The fact that Sony has stuck with the tradition of dropping games and having launch games and building games from the ground up for their platform, for that console, you have to acknowledge that. Because Microsoft over there released the console and Phil Spencer comes out and says, we don't care if you buy it or not. We just want you to fucking dedicate and merge yourself with our fucking services. We don't care if you play on iPads or phone or whatever, or buy the consoles. We don't care. And nor will we make a game for the Series X. You will never see what 12 teraflops do. You will never see it. Because Phil Spencer has did nothing for the Xbox brand at all. But yet, you got David Jaffe over here being a fucking cheerleader for Xbox for doing nothing. So he's attracting the bots, and he's wondering why people is calling him an X-bot, because he acts like an X-bot. And it's sad to see, right before my eyes, you know, I watch a great man fall from grace. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting. And I'm really saddened that I have to do this video about David Jaffe, because he was once one of those creators that I was like, this guy is gonna stand the test of time, because he has contributed such a great creation to the platform for PlayStation that everybody will always acknowledge him for doing that. I mean, he literally turned the page for Sony, you know? And ever since God of War came out, 1, 2, and 3, and all the rest, even though a lot of people say they didn't like Ascension, I don't think he had nothing to do with Ascension, but even though people say they don't like Ascension, I loved Ascension. I swear everybody just regurgitates shit. Because a lot of people that say that Ascension, God of War Ascension is trash, is because they never played it. They only going on what somebody else said. They probably got their favorite YouTuber. They heard their favorite YouTuber say, Ascension is trash. So that's why they spread that bullshit. Fucking Ascension was great. It was the only God of War that was multiplayer. That shit was fun as hell. That's when having a PS Now was fucking free, or yeah, the PS subscription shit. Like, you didn't have to pay for a subscription. Like, being online was fucking free, you know, with the PS3. Matter of fact, they came out with um a God of War fucking PS3 Slim. It was all red and had all of the God of Wars, including the PSP shit, right? But back to David Jaffe, right? It's sad to see a great guy, a great creator that made the God of War fall from grace like that. It's disgusting. Like, every time I watch him, it's hard for me to watch because he's always bitter towards Sony. He is so bitter. I mean, damn, did the company fuck your wife? Did they gang bang your wife or something? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you so fucking bitter at Sony? But yet, you're talking about Game Pass is so great. I love Game Pass, but you ain't playing shit. You ain't playing shit in Game Pass, just like the rest of these Xbox David Jaffe. You're not playing nothing in Game Pass. I don't want to hear that bullshit with the technicality talking about, I did play a game or two. No, you're not playing games like that in Game Pass at all. At all. You're doing exactly what the rest of these Xbox fanboys are doing. You're doing the same thing they're doing. Praising Game Pass, but not any of the games. I don't see any of you motherfuckers posting fucking Game Pass games and showing us how you really enjoying Game Pass games. All y'all do is talk about it. And David Jaffe is no fucking exception, man. I mean, it's like looking at a great man turning into fucking diminishing biological returns. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, oh man, oh man. I know that hurt, David Jaffe. I didn't mean to say that to you, but I did mean to say that disrespectfully. You know what I mean? Very disrespectful. I mean, very disrespectfully. You know, that's exactly what he has turned into. A diminishing biological returns. What I mean by that is, he was once a great creator in the land of SIE, contributing to the ideas and the artistry to take Sony and their portfolio to the next level of gaming, to mush-minded peon. He's a fucking peon now, you know? All he does is trash Sony every chance he gets. And this is why I have to expose him. This is why I'm exposing him for the shield that he is. He is nothing but a shield for Microsoft right now. It's sad to see somebody go from something to trash. Oh man, David Jaffe is complete and utter trash. Like I said, diminishing biological returns is what David Jaffe is looking like right now. It's disgusting to me. It's disgusting. You know, he's mad at his buddy because Ragnarok sold 5.1 million copies in 5 fucking days. Something that David Jaffe never did with any of the God of Wars. As great as 3 is, even though 3 is not my favorite one, it's 2, Ascension, then 3, then 1. And, you know, then the PSP port. As a matter of fact, no, Chains of Olympus was pretty good. I can't remember the other one. I think it was Odyssey, so I can't remember. But there was 2 God of Wars on the PSP. But anyway, 2 is first for me. You know what I mean? Like, I know everybody praised 3 because it was kind of like a The way the bosses were in 3 was kind of like a boss rush. So I think that's what everybody remembers is 3 because they had all these big, huge bosses. So it was kind of like a boss rush. You know what I mean? Uh, the puzzles was trash in 3. The pacing was trash in 3. I don't care what nobody say. The pacing was trash in 3. I didn't like it. I did not like the puzzles. Y'all complain about the puzzles in Ragnarok. 3 had a whole bunch of trash ass puzzles, especially that level where you had to keep trying to fucking break the chains, where you have to go to the top floor, break the chain, and then fight a whole bunch of enemies to get to the next floor, and then break a piece of that chain, and then go back to the top and break a piece of that chain, and turn the statue and go way down to the bottom of the floor and break that chain. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you played 3, that bullshit ass fucking puzzles, man. They had all them dumb ass puzzles in 3, man. Now, when it came to the boss rush, I call it a boss rush because you was fighting nothing but these big ass titans. You know what I mean? Like fucking Hades and fucking Hermes and you know what I mean? What's that one? Aquaman. I think that's his name, the Aquaman dude. You know, the one with the pitchfork and shit. You know what I mean? GD. But anyway, but look, check this out. David Jaffe is so bitter, and it's sad to see a man who I was like, man, this dude, man, everybody gonna remember David Jaffe, man, in the best way. They always gonna have him, they always gonna prop David Jaffe up for the games, you know? Maybe not as a human being, you know, because everybody has the issues, you know? I'm not saying I'm the greatest person either, but I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. Keep in mind, this guy had this David Jaffe has made gazillions, gamillions, over gamillions, gazillions of dollars making God of War, you know? And he influenced the industry to do better, you know what I mean? And they did better because of his games. Even Twisted Metal, you know what I mean? Like, he turned the page for SIE, right? But now, when you watch gabbing for games. I don't even know what gabbing means. You know what I mean? It's just trash. You know what I mean? He got a spinning Diet Coke can and shit. Like just utter trash, man. Like oh man, like how trashy can you get, David Jaffe? Like come on, dude. Lift yourself up by your fucking bootstraps. Like, oh man, like come on, man. Oh, I'm a GD. Like, but anyway, man, look. I don't know, maybe you blood. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, David Jackson. I know you part of a gang or something. I don't know. You affiliated. You know what I mean? Maybe you Pyru blood or something. I don't know. All I know is you were once a great representative to the platform and to the gaming industry. And now you just become a bitter old man. Mad at his buddy. Mad at his buddy. David Jaffe is mad at his buddy. The one that he worked on and worked with to make the other God of Wars 1, 2, and 3. He made Ragnarok. David Jaffe got fired. He can't go back to Sony. You know what I mean? Because he burnt so many bridges. But his buddy chose to stay all over his buddy, man. It's sad to see. It's sad to see. And don't let David Jaffe fool y'all. He doesn't like God of War Ragnarok at all. He is salty. He's salty because it actually is a great game to him, you know? But he knows that he could never make a game at the level of Ragnarok. David Jaffe knows this. He knows he doesn't even have the creativity to even create a game like Ragnarok, you know? Like, the best he can do is like this drawn to life game, you know, pencil stencil game, you know, the cartoony games, you know. That's the best you're going to get from David Jaffe, you know. Even if he came back to the industry, I'm pretty sure it would be something like, what is that game? Psychonauts or something, whatever that game is, Popsicle Dads or something like. I think David Jaffe is into that Popsicle Dads, you know, or the Burly Men and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because what I'm noticing is that David Jaffe, he loves to stay in the fruit bowl. You know what I mean? He loves to stay in the fruit bowl. Like, don't fool yourselves, because I be listening to the callers that call in. David Jaffe is really attracted to his callers. It's sickening, you know? And he tries to bait them in, you know? He tried to bait them in with these conversations, you know? Like he really likes these Sony games, you know? And then once the caller gets to talking, about how great these games are, then all of a sudden David Jaffe gets really wiggly. You know what I mean? He has things that's wiggling inside of him. You know what I mean? David Jaffe is really zesty, man. You know what I mean? This shit is crazy as hell. But here's the thing. Bottom line is this. I respect David Jaffe. I do, as a person. But when it comes to gaming, I have no respect for him at all. I have absolutely no respect for him at all. Because his attitude is disgusting. His attitude is just downright atrocious. He's a heretic. He's an idolater. You know what I mean? He's a harlot, a Jezebel, whatever you want to call it. He's like the 7 deadly sins, Like, it's disgusting to see somebody just go from a titan to being mush brain. Like, David Jaffe brain is mush. It's mush. Listen to the conversations that he has with his callers and to his viewers. He gets mad at his viewers anytime that they start critiquing Microsoft. David Jaffe turns into Captain Save-A-Ho from Microsoft. You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. I mean, he was shield for Microsoft for doing nothing, But then when Sony puts out a great game, a AAA exclusive banger, here come David Jaffe, ready to shit and throw salt all over the place to make it seem like Sony has did a bad thing. So look at Sony is horrible. So look what Sony did. This game, it's great. I really love it, but it's trash. It's nothing but glorified DLC. 70 hours worth of glorified DLC. These are the things that come out of David Jaffe's mouth. I want y'all to hear me closely. He says, God of War Ragnarok is glorified DLC. 70 plus hours is considered DLC to this guy. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? And what's crazy is, there is really some really retarded ass fucking Xbots out there, okay, that agree with that nonsense. But there are a lot of Xbots that actually has played Ragnarok and beat Ragnarok. They can't even agree with the shit that David Jaffe is saying, talking about 70 hours of DLC. See, the thing is that David Jaffe keeps putting himself into a corner. So he has to double down. He has to. Because if he doesn't double down, it's going to come off that he's a fucking liar. And he's going to lose all his subscribers because nobody wants to just hear somebody just force feeding them lies and deceit. So he has to double down to keep his viewership. He has to. So at this point, anybody that watch Gabbins for Games, more power to you. But just know, every chance he gets, he's going to shit on Sony. He's going to shit on Ragnarok or any great game that Sony comes out with. Even Sony themselves know that David Jaffe has lost his fucking mind. They know that. That's the reason why they fired his ass. I'm pretty sure they didn't even let him leave with a bag of groceries. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they kicked his ass out of the fucking building. I bet he was fighting and shit. I bet they had to drag him out by his elbows and shit. You know what I mean? Like, his legs were just like fucking limp. You know how somebody drag you, like, if two security holding your arm and shit, and they just dragging you by your fucking elbows. And he probably was like dead weight, cussing and screaming and shit. But he let his legs act like they're dead, So they was dragging his legs. His legs was bent back like a dog. You know how dog legs are like awkwardly bent back? That's how David Jaffe was being dragged up out of SIE, man. I guarantee it. I mean, because that's the type of guy he turned into. Because the young, hungry David Jaffe was a truth teller. You know what I mean? The old David Jaffe, the young boy, the young bull, the young stud, That guy, that was that guy. He was the man. That David Jaffe was the fucking man. And we all know that. At least for the ones that's old enough to know and remember the young David Jaffe. He was the man. You know what I mean? Anybody had any great ideas or wanted to move forward with their games and stuff, they came to David Jaffe. You know what I mean? Because he had all of the great ideas, kind of like Cliffy B, Cliff Belinsky, the one, the creator of Gears of War. That's my guy too. You know, like Cliffy B was one of the first white dudes that I knew that fuck with the hood. I mean, Cliffy B got street cred. You feel me? And back in the day, David Jaffe had street cred too. You know what I mean? Maybe not high as Cliffy B. See, Cliffy B was kicking it with Soulja Boy. You know what I mean? Cliffy B was kicking it with Ice-T and shit like that, and Ice Cube, and like Cliffy B was the fucking man. You know, like it's hard for a white dude to get street cred like that. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we loved them, not because they was white, because they were real stand-up dudes. You know what I mean? But it was cool that they were white dudes doing big things because they had great minds and creating great games. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, niggas in the hood, we like, oh shit, this motherfucker real. You know what I mean? And we love the games that they putting out, you know, and they fuck with niggas. You know what I'm saying? David Jaffe fuck with niggas. Now, I know a lot of y'all, because he attracts a lot of racist people. If y'all don't notice, when you watch Gavin for Games, even the callers that call in, they are really dedicated bigots. Like, it's horrible. Like, you can even hear it in their tone, you know? When these white dudes call in to Gavin and Games, you can hear how racist they are. They are very racist. So, David Jaffe attracts a lot of these deep-rooted racist dudes, right? But David Jaffe himself is cool with niggas. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, David Jaffe had street cred back in the day. He was the man, you know? Him and Cliffy B, man, like, they was the ones, you know what I mean? Like, niggas fuck with them, you know? I mean, we still fuck with David Jaffe. It's just, it's starting to get really nauseating that we have to deal with him being so fucking bitter. I just wish he would be real, man. Just be real. Just be like, you know what? I don't like fucking Sony. You know, they drag my ass up out of there and shit. I burned too many fucking bridges. Yeah, that I fucked up, but you know what I'm saying? Sony don't want to fuck with me. Even though I want to work for Sony again, I do want to make another great game because I have a great idea bouncing around in my fucking head, but Sony don't want to fuck with me, so fuck it. At least if he came out and said that, I can respect that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I can't respect the fact that he shits on his buddy that made Ragnarok because his buddy is the one that's getting the credit. So he's salty as fuck. He keeps pouring salt on his buddy, you know, keeps saying that his friend, his ex homeboy, you know what I'm saying, that created Ragnarok and shit, um, his buddy created fucking DLC. 70 plus hours worth of it. I mean, just degrading. That is so degrading. You know what I'm saying? I'm I hope his buddy calls him and tells him to shut the fuck up because he can't do any better. I hope his buddy tells him, you know what, David Jaffe, fuck you. You can't do any better. You just mad because I made Ragnarok and Ragnarok is popping and niggas in the hood fuck with me. Yeah, that's what JV mad. That's what you know what it. That's what it is. That's what it is. David Jaffe is mad because he lost his street cred. That's what he mad about. Oh man, I could have made this video short, y'all. That's what David Jaffe mad about. He mad because his homeboy that helped create the other fucking God of Wars and shit, 1, 2, and 3. His homeboy got street cred. I think his name Eric. I think. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, Eric got street cred now. You know what I mean? He got street cred in the hood. And David Jaffe has lost his fucking hood card, man. Like, yeah, David Jaffe, you lost your fucking hood card, man. You know what I mean? You fucked that off. You fucked that off. Because you constantly throwing shit under the bus. You constantly throwing SIE under the bus. You constantly throwing your ex-homeboy under the bus. You shit on every Sony game that comes out. At your leisure. At your leisure. You just find all the time in the world to shit on great games. But you big up and fucking put Microsoft doing nothing on a fucking pedestal. Oh, Game Pass is great. This is why, like I said, he got to double down. This is why Game Pass is the greatest thing that has ever happened in gaming. I love Game Pass. And then you'll look at him hit the little pipe. And that's denial. When you see him hit the pipe after he said his bullshit, like that, denial. You know, and that, I don't know what that means, but hey, he's smoking something. He puffing on something. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, I told you that David Jaffe is really zesty. You know, he's really wiggly inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, this shit is crazy. Like, look, to sum it all up, there was once a great guy, a stand-up guy, a truth teller in the gaming industry named David Jaffe. He was the man. Okay, he was the man, right? And as time went on, this man became bitter, you know? So he sits around, he mopes around all day, ready to push record, to entertain his viewers and treat them to a whole bunch of bitterness. This is exactly what you get from David Jaffe now. It's salt and bitter rolls. The bitter rolls. That's literally what you get from David Jaffe. Is salt and bitter rolls. You know, like dinner rolls, bitter rolls. That's what you get from David Jaffe. And it's all because he lost his we pulled his hood card. He no longer has the hood card. Now, can he get the hood card back? Possibly. Possibly. Stop hating on your boy, David Jaffe. Big up your homeboy for making Ragnarok. Selling 5.1 million copies in 5 days. Big up your homeboy. Call him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to go out to lunch. I want to see the video. I want to see the video of, you know what I'm saying, you giving your homeboy dap. Like, man, you did it, dog. You did it, dog. You know what I mean? Like, I maybe not be up in SIE, but when we created 1, 2, and 3, you took those ideas and made Ragnarok and made it the most hottest game in today's time, within this decade. There's nothing that's surpassing Ragnarok right now. You know what I'm saying? Right? Ragnarok is the pinnacle of gaming right now. You can say what you want to say. Yeah, there's a lot of great indie games out there, no doubt about it. I don't shit on indie games because I love indie games. But when it comes to a big budget, AAA blockbuster exclusive banger, his boy Eric did this. He did the damn thing. And everybody in the hood love that nigga. You know what I mean? We love that nigga that created Ragnarok. We fuck with Ragnarok. You know what I mean? We already know the next fucking God of War gonna be over there in Africa. We already fucking know. You say, how do I know? That's for another video. But I have fucking solid fucking proof that fucking the next God of War will be in Africa. I guarantee it 1 billion fucking percent. Y'all gonna remember that shit coming back to this fucking video. The next fucking God of War will be in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So get ready for that shit. I guarantee it's gonna be, and I have fucking irrefutable proof. You know? So on that note, it's your boy AC07, man. I just had to drop this video because this is a long time coming. I had to expose David Jaffe for who he is. You know what I mean? He's shown his true colors over and over and over, and I couldn't take it anymore. I have had enough of David Jaffe's bullshit. I've had enough of his salt. I've had enough of his bitter rolls. And all the hating. He's a hater now. He's just a fucking hater. And it's sad to see, man. Diminishing biological returns is what you get from David Jaffe. He has become an utter failure. Maybe not in life, you know, because I'm pretty sure when you make great games and you've earned every dollar and you're sitting back with multiple multi-million-dollar accounts, I'm pretty sure you can find some happiness somewhere. But deep inside, the fact that he can't go back to Sony and do what his buddy did and get all the recognition for Ragnarok like his homeboy did, he's bitter, he's salty, and he's a hater. And it's sad to see, man. Diminishing returns, man. Diminishing returns is what you get from David Jaffe. So anybody over there support him, keep supporting him. You know what I mean? I told you I tune in here and there. You know what I mean? But I don't like his shit. The fucking Gavin Gaming is trash. It's fucking utter trash. His channel is trash. The format is trash. The shit he talks about is trash. The callers is trash. I mean, the spinning fucking Diet Coke can is trash. I mean, all the little fucking bells and whistles or whatever the fuck they are. I don't fucking know. Fucking Christmas lights and that trash. You know what I mean? All the little fucking peripherals and shit like that, little trinkets and shit in the back is trash. All the shit, the whole fucking setting is trash. His mic is trash. You know what I mean? The video, the screen that I'm looking through is fucking trash. I mean, his beard is trash. I mean, like, everything is just trash. It's just trash. It's just utter fucking trash. This is claustrophobic trash. That's when I watch Gavin and Games. It should be Gavin and Trash. That's what it should be called, Gavin and Trash. This is your boy ACL7, man. I'm out this piece, man. You already know what I do, man. At the end of all my videos, you already know how I give it up for Sony with these exclusives. Like I said, you don't go to McDonald's and get a Whopper. You know what I mean? And you don't go to Taco Bell to get a fucking cheeseburger. You know what I'm saying? Exclusivity does matter. Exclusive does matter. Don't let these motherfuckers fool you. Don't let David Jaffe fool you and these Xbox and these PC weird ass niggas out here fool you saying exclusives don't matter. Hence why PC has never had a killer fucking app. It's the reason why. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother video. You know? And it's the reason why fucking the Series X doesn't have shit. You know what I mean? Don't even have a game of the fucking year. And there's no excuses. All these motherfuckers that was bidding on fucking Halo Infinite and shit and big ups and putting fucking Forza and fucking Halo Infinite on the fucking pedestal. It's funny how those same people that put it on the pedestal didn't fucking vote for fucking Halo Infinite to be game of the year. It's fucking sad. It's fucking sad how this shit goes. And y'all dumbass motherfuckers bought into it, and David Jaffe didn't help by talking about Ragnarok's fucking glorified DLC. You see, it backfired. That's what fucking happened. It fucking backfired. He was hoping if he came out and said that Ragnarok is gonna be fucking glorified DLC, he was hoping nobody fucking supported the game. But what he did was brought a whole bunch of negative attention to the game. And people picked up the game because they wanted to shit on it like David Jaffe. But when they played the game, they like, oh shit, this game ain't no DLC. This is a fucking great fucking game. So it didn't work, David Jaffe. Sorry, it backfired. Blew your fucking face back. Your fault, not mine. Disrespectfully. It's your boy ACL7. You already know. Exclusives. Exclusives. Oh man, I know this shit hurt, man. It's ugly, but it's necessary. Y'all already know what I do. Go ahead, man. Throw your boy some dollars at the fucking Cash App. David Jaffe, throw me a few dollars at the fucking Cash App. You know what I mean? You know I earned this shit. You know what I mean? Anytime I expose you, it's because I fuck with you. You see what I'm saying? Anytime I make a video and expose you, it's not because of hate. It's because I fuck with you. And I want to see you get better, David Jaffe. I want to see you heal. I want some healing to happen for you. You know what I mean? So you can become the man again. You know what I'm saying? The man again. Shave that fucking beard. You know what I mean? Those ideas that you got fucking bouncing around in your fucking head. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Do what you got to do. Write a letter to Sony, to the top head honchos, and be like, look, let me in. I got a great fucking game. You know what I mean? And you'll become the man again, and you'll get your street cred back. You know what I mean? The hood to fuck with you. You want the hood to fuck with you again, right, David Jaffe? That's what you're really mad about, right? You mad because the hood fuck with your homeboy that made Ragnarok, right? You know what I mean? Like, he put it down for the hood. Like, we good. We good. Ragnarok is our shit. Niggas fuck with Ragnarok. You know what I mean? I like saying Ragnarok. Now, even though I don't even like the whole Norse mythology shit, the whole North mythological bullshit, I don't even like the characters. I don't even like how the names are and shit. I did like Sif, though. Damn, Sif, Thor, wife, bad bitch. Oh, man, that bitch. Ooh, Sif was nice. Oh, man, I fuck Freya, too, though. Don't get it twisted. I get the witch and Sif. Freya and Sif. I hit both of them at the same time. Anyway, that's a whole nother fucking video. But anyway, get on your shit, man. If I'm making an exposed video of you, it's because I fuck with you. And David Jaffe, I just want to see you get better, dog. I just want to see you get better, my G. That's all. You know what I mean? That way we can be like, yeah, David Jaffe, he's the fucking truth. The truth teller is back, man. The fucking truth teller of the gaming industry is back. And I don't want to hear that bullshit David Jaffe talking about you call it as you see it. No, you don't. You fucking capping. You super capping. You mega capping. Whatever you want to call it, man. You explicitly talking a whole bunch of bullshit, and you know it. You know it because you're trying to attract the Xbox fanboys nonsense, and you've done it to a certain degree, but it didn't work because you made them pick up Ragnarok, and now they're really enjoying the fucking game. Oh man, I know it's ugly, man, but it's necessary. It's your boy Ace Steel 7, man. I'm out this piece, man. Hope you enjoyed the video, man. Like I said, throw your boy a couple bones in the fucking Cash App or the PayPal. I really appreciate it. That way I can bring y'all more exclusive content. You know what I mean? Bring y'all these banging videos. Y'all already know I go live. Y'all already know, as long as I've been doing this shit for years, y'all already knew. Y'all already know I don't use no special effects, man. This shit raw and uncut, man. This shit is raw and uncut, like cutting pure hair raw. You know what I mean? Like cutting that fine china. You know what I mean? Shit blow your fucking nose back. You see what I'm saying? Niggas out here sniffing in their fucking videos. Hey, peep this out. Whenever you hear a nigga keep sniffing in their videos, whenever you hear a nigga keep sniffing in their videos, yeah, yeah, the lines, the lines get blurred. Don't let that go over your head. Shout out to you, Heartache. Shout out to you, Next Gen 720. Shout out to you, Thrash. Shout out to you, Big Cloud Game, my nigga, Big Cloud. What up, homie? Shout out to you, DNA. I don't know what my nigga DNA is. Shout out to you, nigga. Who else? Oh shit. Shout out to you, Hip Hop Gamer. I used to fuck with Marley Gaming Nation, but he's what? Nigga, stop stealing my shit, nigga. Marley Gaming Nation. Stop that shit, dog. Stop that shit, nigga. Stop. Just stop. Anyway, shout out to all you niggas out there, man. Y'all niggas need to start shouting me out, too. You know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers ain't that big, you know what I mean? Y'all ain't blowing up YouTube and shit, nigga. If I can shout you niggas out, you niggas can at least shout me out here and there, nigga. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Y'all always stealing my motherfucking slogans and shit, you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I do like the shit that, like Heartache shit, you know. I like his shit, too, you know what I mean? I fuck with Heartache, you know what I mean? Like, the nigga, that's a real nigga right there. Y'all can act like Heartache ain't that nigga. Nah, that's that nigga, man. He's the people's champ. I don't give a fuck what none of you bitch ass niggas say. Heartache is the people's fucking champ, dog. I don't give a fuck. And I fuck with Next Gen. I fuck with Next Gen 720. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, Next Gen, like he not the people's champ yet. Like he got his days though, where I'm like, damn, he could be. You know what I mean? But Heartache, he stay the people's champ. You know what I mean? Cause he come in. You know what I mean? He come in and address all the dick eaters right off the bat, man. You know what I mean? Like Heartache don't hold back. I fuck with Heartache, man. You know what I mean? Heartache times, nigga, times, nigga. On that note, I'm out this piece. Did I say exclusive? Yeah, I said exclusive. Well, fuck it, I do it again. Exclusive, exclusive, exclusive. Yeah. Peace, 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 peace.